Hi everyone, my name is Shantasia. Welcome to my channel. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know I've been on hiatus, and it was an unexpected hiatus, to be honest. I think I kind of overworked and pressured myself when I was trying to get Scraps of Love ready, and I think that's pretty obvious from my last vlog that I was feeling pretty pressured and pretty overwhelmed by the choice that I had made to publish. And I mean, that being said, I am very happy that I did. I'm very excited to have my works out there. It was just too much too fast, especially with just having moved and also starting a new job that same week. So I think it was just a little bit too much, and instead of postponing the release, I chose to continue going on with it. So it is whatever. But I wanted to talk a little bit about this whole AuthorTube thing that is going on right now. And the only reason I was going to talk about it is because it is something that I've been thinking about for a good 2 months. And a really quick disclaimer, just like kind of everyone else has done that has talked about this, is I am not aiming this at anybody in particular. I am not trying to be mean or overly critical, because I feel like we have an amazing community and I wouldn't have joined it if I hadn't thought that. So that's nothing like that. I haven't had anyone come at me personally, nothing like that. It's just something that I had been planning on kind of talking about anyways before Shaylin, Alexa, Kenzie, Sarah, and Jenna started talking about it. And I will link all their videos down below. I'm sure you've seen them already, but if you haven't, go check them out, because they definitely have some very valid points and I agree with most of it. So I will not be talking about anything that they've said, because I feel like they have done a wonderful job expressing those issues. And again, I'm not part of it really, so I can't really say. They probably know a little bit more than I do, just me being a newbie. But it is something I wanted to talk about, like I said, because over the last 2 months I have really been considering whether or not I wanted to be a part of AuthorTube in the capacity that I have been, or at all. And that is because like the other ladies have said, there is a culture that is kind of developing, and I don't know if it is because of the highly competitive self-publishing area within the AuthorTube community or what it is, but there really is a idea or a sense when you're watching some of these authors that there is a culture of what success is and what success isn't. And if you aren't published, like when I'm watching these videos, I kind of get the feeling like if you aren't published, if you aren't posting frequently, a high amount every month, if you're not overworking and overextending yourself with high performance and a high turnover and a quick publishing rate, like you're publishing 1 or 2 books a year and putting out books within, creating new books every 2 to 3 months. And for a lot of us, that's not feasible. Yes, there are some people that are very focused and very goal orientated, and that is what works for them. But I feel like the rest of us, that maybe we're kind of in a middle ground, or maybe we don't put that much pressure on ourselves for writing, are kind of getting lost in the wayside of that. And that these things are kind of becoming the expectation of authors, maybe not even just here, but elsewhere in the other writing communities. And like I said, it might just be because it is a competitive market. It is a competitive area to be in. And we are creating our AuthorTube channels to create an audience. So you want to stand out, and I get that. But I just feel like it's becoming more of a norm and more of an expectation that if you're not hitting all these things, that you're not serious and you're not really a valid part of the community, which is not true. And that was kind of where my car rant from last week or the week before kind of came from, because I've just been feeling like I cannot perform at that level, and I feel like there is an expectation to perform at that level. And it's not just for me. I really feel like when you look at AuthorTube videos in general, it's all about pushing out the product as fast as you can and like creating content all the time, being on all the time, and you can't be that way. I know that a lot of us have families, we have full-time jobs, we have full-time lives, and then if you are a YouTuber, you also know that doing these videos and taking the time for editing, planning, choosing for vlogs, all those things, it's very time consuming. And when you're trying to put out 2 to 3 videos a week, even 1 a week, like I try to do, it's hard, it's difficult. And so I can see that that is, you know, really becoming an issue. The other thing that I've noticed is really just the pressure to be published. And this one I really didn't feel for myself. I don't know, but I do get that feeling that when you're watching, sometimes when you're watching a video, it's almost implied that you're not welcome on AuthorTube if you're not published. And that is not true as well. So, I mean, I felt comfortable coming onto AuthorTube. I definitely was falling into the trap that Shaylin was talking about, where there is, you know, some copying, and to an extent that is true, because we're coming on here, us newbies, we're coming on here and we're learning from our favorite channels, and those channels are what's inspiring us, and so that's the kind of content that we want to create. So I understand that, and that is something that I've been thinking about a lot lately, how to make my channel unique and stand out much more than it already does. But I just wanted to say that if you are not a published author, you still belong on AuthorTube. You're still welcome here. It doesn't matter if you've been published or unpublished, or if you're working towards publication. Like I said in my last video, if you are showing up on the page at the times and seasons that are best for you and work for you, then you are a successful writer, in my opinion, because sometimes just sitting down and taking that time to create is the hardest part of it. And we really need to start giving ourselves a little bit more credit for the time that we do spend creating. And that doesn't just mean sitting down and writing. That includes the whole process, the daydreaming, the imagination time, all of that. And I think we just need to be really much kinder to each other. And maybe as AuthorTubers, we need to be a little bit more conscious of how we're presenting ourselves, because we cannot do everything. My time is valuable, your time is valuable, and we want to make sure that we are putting out content that is relevant, important, enjoyable, and not just enjoyable for you, but enjoyable for us as creators. And I think we need to get back more towards that, just like sharing the journey. So in that light, I have been re-evaluating over the last month and a half my channel's purpose, and I'm sure you'll see as things start to change. I have rebranded, so it's going to be more about sharing my writing journey. So you're going to see more vlogs, you're going to see more videos that are work in progress updates. I'm going to continue to do my monthly goals for myself, but I have decided that I will no longer be sharing those on this channel, because I'm not really sure that it's beneficial. as I move through things, it'll be obvious that I have put a lot on my plate, but there has been an added pressure to complete more of my goal list than I intend to. A lot of times when I create my goal list, I expect at least 25% of it to roll over to the next month, and since I have started doing it here, I have been more pressured to either do 100%, or if I don't even get to like 50%, I feel very defeated and I don't even want to do the update video because it's embarrassing. And that may work for some people, but for me it doesn't work. So I have decided to discontinue those. But that is my very small opinion about what has been going on with AuthorTube. I'm with Sarah. I don't see that it really affects me in general. I am just concerned that anyone that is a new writer or is wanting to start an AuthorTube channel might be deterred by it because they might feel that they cannot perform at that high level. And it is our responsibility for ourselves to make sure that we are not overwhelming ourselves. But at the same time, if you're coming into a writing community and that is how you're feeling, and that is what apparently the culture is leaning towards, then you're going to feel more pressure to perform at that level as well. And when you don't, you're going to feel like you're a failure. So I have decided to stay, but there will be changes. I'm not sure that I'll post every week. I do have plans for Nano, but it's just, I want it to be fun again. I just want to get back to that because I love writing, and AuthorTube is honestly supposed to be enhancing my writing life, not making it harder, because we all know that being a creative and being an author is not easy, and it takes dedication and work, and we're continually learning and exploring ourselves and exploring the world, and that alone takes enough energy. We don't need to be expending it elsewhere. So that is my 2 cents for today. I thank you for watching. I hope you check out the ladies that I linked below, because like I said, they're all amazing. I follow all of them, and I'm really looking forward to seeing if this dialogue will change a little bit of the tone that has been cropping up over the last few months or so. And I just wanted to say that if you are writing, you belong here. If you have a crappy camera phone and that is all you have, and you don't have a nice background, you still belong here. If you are old, you still belong here. We are all welcome. This is YouTube. There are no rules about who can be here and who can't. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.